Equator Coffees and Teas is at the forefront of third-wave coffee by focusing on quality, sustainability, and social responsibility, creating positive impact through every cup of coffee.
Welcome to Equator. Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Equator is not only an amazing cup of coffee, but it's an amazing story that honors everyone along that supply chain. And we call it the chain of well-being. We started a garage in 1995, saw what was happening up in Portland with Starbucks and said, hey, let's open up a coffee business. My partner Brooke at the time had traveled all over the world as a child, had an amazing palate, so we came down, wrote a business plan, and started a company called Europa, and we were behind the bar with 2 coffee bars, and none of the roasters would tell Brooke anything about the product. And she really wanted to know the elevation, how the farmers were being paid, potassium in the soil, all those things. And she said, if I ever get the opportunity to roast coffee, I'm going to be extremely transparent. I said, let's start a coffee company. And so here we are now with a roasting plant that we own, that we bought with an SBA loan. We own a farm in Panama. We have 125 employees. All of them have health insurance. Now we have 7 retail stores, 3 in Marin, 3 in San Francisco. We just opened an amazing container store in Oakland. You evolve over time. We've learned so much, and we're always learning about specialty coffee. We've worked with the farmers. We've gotten dirt on our boots. So our entire ethos is really about the chain of well-being. It's understanding the farmer, understanding how we can help that farmer. It's understanding the exporter and the importer and the roaster and the retailer and our wholesale customers and what this community here expects. You hear a lot about third wave, right? Second wave was the caramel latte. Third wave is honoring the farmer. That's what third wave is about. That's what the people behind this bar are doing. They're honoring the farmer. We wanted to build a company that was transparent, a company that had health insurance for all, and that lifted all boats. So that's something we've been able to do that we're so, so proud of. I get goosebumps when I talk about the farm. So Finca Sophia is really a labor of love. Brooke and I and our partners, Will and Boot and his wife, Catherine, discovered this incredible piece of land in Panama, up in Volcan. And so we walked this land and we bought this incredible farm. 10 years later, we just got Best of Panama. And we learned early on when we purchased that land that you inherit the people that are on the land. There was a family living there. We went down, we built them worker housing. This is coffee. This is the journey. And it's more about what's in this cup. It's that story. When I look in there, I see people's faces. That's what I see. I see the farmers. I see their families. And I see that the more coffee that we can sell, the greater impact we can have. Last year, we won Small Business of the Year, national, which is something that we are so proud of, because what that does is it tells us that that journey that we took almost 3 decades ago, when we embarked on doing something different as a coffee company. When we started roasting in that garage, there were only 5 women in the country roasting. There are only 30 roasters on the West Coast. There's now 300. Being the first LGBT certified company in the history of the SBA after 63 years, and being able to stand on that platform, our people, our employees value that so much, and they want to be here.
Working with Helen has been a tremendous privilege. Somebody who understands quality in coffee, understands how to have intimate relationships with people and have that connection. One of my favorite things that they believe here in Equator is Helen always talks about the chain of well-being. How this is an amazing chain that starts from the farmer and gets all the way to the consumer, and they are one of the most important parts of that chain. To be able to roast this coffee this wonderfully, and then to be able to share the stories of these farmers and find the beauty, because we do live in a world where a lot of, unfortunately, negative things are happening, especially in a country like Yemen that's going through a horrific civil war. So having these touch points, places like Equator, and people like Helen, who can smile and share these coffees, it really means a lot to us. They were one of the first people that believed in my project, and to have 3 women from Mill Valley, California, take a chance with someone, a Yemeni kid who grew up in the Tenderloin, who had this dream to go back to his family's roots and trying to be a bridge. It's really a beautiful thing.
Whether you're 3 or 83, you feel good in here. And I think that's our legacy. It's a legacy of kindness and connection and saying yes. And I just wanted to go on and on and on and on. You know, I always run outside when there's a line, people are waiting for their coffee, and they're like, oh. And I said, look, everybody's got health insurance behind the coffee bar. They're like, okay, Helen. And so they'll stay in the line. So I'm always kind of telling that story, and it's worked really, really well.